Hello and good afternoon, everyone. My name is Kevin Swall Jr. here speaking on behalf of Group 6, bringing you our assignment 2 on University Ave. So, on today's agenda, we are going to cover our second trip to University Ave, our conversation with a banker on pay equity and compensation, understanding pay equity and compensation in and around, trend shaping pay equity in Toronto, challenges for employers, employees, and HR professionals working on University Ave, navigating legal compliance, strategies for closing the pay gap regarding solutions with HR, the future of pay equity and fair compensation in University Ave, and a little conclusion at the end. So, as we get into our second trip, we set out the goal of building professional relationships, gathering valuable insights from actual business employees, as discussed in our lectures in class. So, our journey began with visits to multiple businesses on the street, preferably Scotiabank and CIBC, where we collected multiple business cards. In addition, we did take some time to go around and explore the vibrant area, stopping by unique beverage and dining establishments along the popular streets on University Ave. However, one of the most significant moments of the trip occurred when we met Brandon Such, the bank manager at CIBC. Through our conversation with Brandon, we were able to foster a professional relationship and dive a little bit deeper into HR and business related discussions, although we were limited to a 3 to 5 minute conversation because he is a very busy man, and we left it at that on that day. So, diving a little bit deeper into what was discussed in that 3 to 5 minutes with the CIBC manager, Brandon, we talked a little bit about pay equity and compensation practices, although not very much. We introduced ourselves and wanted to seem very professional to Brandon, explaining that we are students doing some research at George Brown College, and that we have a survey consisting of 5 multiple choice questions, primarily focused on general work experiences on University Ave, just like what it's like to work there and stuff like that, etc., as it was a first time meeting the man, and we did not want to have any sort of bad first impression bombarding him with questions. Brandon was very receptive to our approach and agreed to participate in the survey. He kindly provided us with his contact information via email on his business card, and we have reached out since then and provided him with the survey. And we ultimately ended the conversation with a professional handshake and walked out. In addition, we got another bank manager's business card, although that manager was not in the office that day and we received it from one of his employees. We have sent out a request to send that individual a survey, but we have not heard back as of this date. Now I'm going to pass it on.
So, talking about pay equity and compensation trends along University Avenue, which is a key hub for healthcare, finance, and research in Toronto. These sectors often have a complex pay structures based on education, experience, and skills. A major challenge is the pay equity gap, especially across gender and racial lines. Factors like seniority, negotiation practice, and promotional access play an important role. To address this, many employers now conduct equity audits. With today's high cost of living and demand for skilled professionals, salary inflation, and another concern, employer must also comply with laws like Ontario Pay Equity Act and Employment Standard Act to ensure fair pay. Modern strategies now emphasize total rewards beyond salary. This includes benefits and flexible works. Many companies also use data-driven approach such as salary surveys to stay competitive and equitable. Building on that, the the wage gap remains a persistent issue. In Ontario, women earn just 87 cents for each every dollar earned by men in a 2022. This gap worsened with intersectionally. Arab women, for example, earn 47% less than Arab men, and indigenous women also earn nearly $25,000 less than non-indigenous men annually. Disparities are especially clear in tech, where the pay gap is actually widening. While the laws like Pay Equity Act are important, ongoing transparency, legal pressure, and accountability are key to make real progress. especially in influencing area like University Avenue. Now I would like to pass.
Now let's look at some strategies for closing the pay gap that HR professionals can consider, especially in the context of business along University Avenue and in Toronto more broadly. First, enhancing pay transparency is a crucial step. HR departments should be proactive in conducting regular pay audits and review to identify and correct dispensaries, particularly in sectors like tech where the pay gap is widening. Using data-driven tools and AI can also help uh, identify biases in pay decisions. But it's important to regularly audit these systems to ensure fairness. To support these efforts, HR team must be equipped with non-biased training programs to eliminate unconscious biasness in recruitment and compensation. Finally, aligning with HR practices with legislative standards like Ontario Pay Equity Act is essential to ensure ongoing progress and compliances with the law. By implementing these strategies, we can create a more equitable and fair compensation system across the business in Toronto, especially in high demand areas like University Avenue. Now I'll pass it on to the next.
Okay. Challenges for employers, employees, and HR professionals. For the challenges, employers is a high competition for talent, cost of operating, navigating traffic, and accessibility. For the challenges, employees, also high cost of living, work-life balance, and stress from busy environment. For the challenges, HR professionals is recruitment and retention, employee well-being and mental health, managing diversity and inclusion. These challenges highlight the complex dynamics of working of University Avenue, requiring employers, employees, and HR professionals to adapt and find innovative solutions to foster a productive and sustainable work environment. I'm gonna pass it.
Okay. Ontario Pay Equity Act compliance, ensuring fair and equitable pay isn't just a good practice, it's a law. In Ontario, organizations must comply with the Pay Equity Act, which requires fair compensation for work of equal value. Understanding equal work of equal value to determine job value, the Act outlines 4 key factors: skill, effort, responsibility, and working conditions. Organizations must evaluate these factors carefully to ensure fair pay. Proactive equity reviews and audits. Regular pay equity reviews are essential. Internal audit helps identify and address pay gaps before they become legal concern. A proactive approach prevents costly issues down the road. Addressing systemic discrimination. Pay equity isn't just about salary comparison, it's about addressing systemic discrimination in compensation structures and promotion processes. Business must ensure fairness at every level. Recording keeping and documentation. Meticulous record keeping is key to compliance. Organizations must document job evaluation, compensation decisions, and pay equity plans. This documentation demonstrates compliance and protects businesses during audits or legal proceedings. Legal challenges and potential penalties. Failure to comply can lead to legal action, financial penalties, and reputational damage. Pay equity compliance isn't just a legal requirement, it's a commitment to fairness. By staying proactive and transparent, organizations build a stronger and more equitable workforce. Now passing it on.
The future of pay equity and fair compensation in Toronto. Toronto's corporate world is changing, and mandatory pay reporting will increase transparency, holding companies accountability for wage differences based on gender, race, and many more. AI and automated fairness. AI powered tools will help reduce bias in pay decision, but they must be monitored through regular audits to prevent them from reinforcing existing inequalities. Focus on intersectionality. Pay gaps don't affect everyone equally. especially for indigenous and urban women face significantly wage inequality. Addressing these challenges is key to a fair workforce legislative advancement. Stronger pay equity laws will require companies, particularly along university areas, to conduct proactive audits and ensure compliances. The evolving workplace. With remote work and gig economy growing, clear pay equity standards will be essential to ensure fair wages no matter where employees are. Achieving pay equity in Toronto will require data technology, legislation, and strong commitment to fairness to create a more equitable future for all. Pass to the next.
So, guys, in conclusion today, as we wrap up our presentation, I really just want to highlight the key takeaways. I know going under and looking through understanding pay equity challenges, both of what we've discussed in class in our lectures and in today with our presentation, effective strategies for HR, promoting pay transparency, and leveraging data AI tools, especially as we move into the year of 2025, going into 2026. AI is here to stay. And then just future trends, increased legislative advancements, data-driven transparency, and once again, AI, how it's moving forward. And then I just want to highlight today how thankful we were for Brandon and the conversation we had with him and being able to give out our survey. Thank you very much for taking the time to listen to our presentation. I hope you all have a great day.